Hello, my name is Maria Schmitz. The hero of this story is the Rhinelander Tilmann Otto, alias Gentleman. The message is that of Nehru, former Prime Minister of India, who said, to understand a culture, you have to immerse yourself in the historical and cultural context of those people and the country they live in. Well, that's not easy, he continues. There is something confusing about all this. A certain incident that seems obvious to us is not perceived as the same by others. To free oneself from the frustration one feels, it is enough to think that the other has not received the same conditioning. Whatever the future holds for us, each group of people, each country differs from the others by its way of observing, living, and thinking. To understand the others, we should use their language wherever possible. I would like to say, not only the totality of the words that make up their language, but also the language of their mind and heart. This is an absolute necessity. It consists not only of appealing to logic and reason, it consists of an emotional opening towards the others. Gentlemen, and girl you, if I may say so, as the wife of a Rhinelander, is such a person with regard to Jamaica. In his song, Zwischen den Stühlen, he sings, I'm at home with mixed feelings. Building my house on the fence. What I need to feel right, everything is here, on the fence, on the fence. The singer describes a condition that can be attributed to a phase of culture shock. It is called re-entry shock or reverse culture shock. He's a border crosser and describes a state that can be called liminality. Leo describes it as a transitional phase between rituals in which the person has no social status. Liminality, elsewhere described, is a word from anthropology and describes the transitional period or phase of a rite of passage in which the participant has no social status or rank, remains anonymous, shows obedience and humility, and follows prescribed forms of behavior, dress, etc. With regards to anonymity, I quote the Deutsche Welle article. He gets a kick out of his relative anonymity in the birthplace of reggae, saying, people sometimes say to me, you're the one who sings that song that was always playing on the radio in Jamaica? I can't believe it. One is at home everywhere and nowhere. Unlike Sting in Englishman in New York, however, Gentleman is not alienated. He is, in my eyes, a true cross-cultural swinger beyond the business class. In this sense, I could also have presented him as an example of intercultural competence at the end of the course at the university. However, no one would have understood Journey to Jah. Something simply gets lost when you don't understand the context, the culture, or the language of a people. A translator has to master source and target text. A cross-cultural swinger, as Patrick Schmidt calls an interculturally competent person, is at home in his own country or in their own country, and to take the genders into account, and in the foreign environment. After all, he has been commuting between Jamaica and Germany since he was 18. Jamaican Patois, a language that originates from the West African Twi and English of the 17th century, is a niche market that everyone dances to, but not everyone necessarily understands. Linguists have identified pure Jamaican, spoken mostly in rural areas with regional variations, as a mixture of 17th century English and West African Twi. That is, one recognizes most Twi constructions and vocabulary mixed in with some Spanish and Portuguese. The accents and inflections come from Scottish and Irish. Given the history of the country, this should not be surprising, especially as the bulk of the population descended from slaves who were first taken from West Africa by the Spanish, then learned English from their British slave masters, overseers, and missionaries. Crossing borders. Roots reggae a la Gentleman has also now found success internationally, not just in the German-speaking neighbors of Austria and Switzerland, but also in Scandinavia, Poland, Southern Europe, various African countries, United States, and even in Alexandria, Egypt. Please stay tuned until the end, because I have quite a few technical goodies for you.